Alright, here we are with Mouseguard, a Canadian tale, spelled the way you think it is. Episode 1. I am Devin, the player. Oh, right, I'm the player. So I'm Devin, and, no, wait. So we're going to move to Tyler, who's the referee. So, Tyler, take it away, and then tell us to go clockwise, like we do.
Hello, I'm Tyler. I'll be running Mouseguard. Yeah, so we'll just take it around going clockwise.
Yeah, Kevin playing Renard.
Peter as Finn Smallpaws.
Devin as Gearhart.
And Nicole is Gwyn.
Okay, and we're starting our adventure in the Mouse year of 1152. The Weasel War that racked the territories is 3 years in the past, and everyone is still recovering. Cities are still swarmed with refugees, and the scars of war are on both the border and the people who fought. The last winter has been long and hard. Deep grip of ice has just gripped the entire territories. It's now weeks past when the first spring thaws would normally happen and the patrols would get sent out. And everything is still cold and frozen, and the mice are locked away in their burrows in their various settlements. You all are in Lockhaven as members of the Guard, with very little to do except eat your meager winter rations and gossip as the long winter nights pass. Lately, there have been rumors that Gwendolyn has been locked away in her tower, meeting with the various Guard captains, talking late into the night. Rumors of arguments and disagreements have spilled out. And now you're all called up to meet with her and receive your orders. So you all assemble there in the hallway. There are various other patrols that are there as well. You recognize some from previous ones that you've gone on, other people that you maybe haven't worked with but know from here in Lockhaven. Eventually the doors swing open and you go in, and Gwendolyn is standing there before you. She's in front of a large map of the mouse territories. She looks very tired, very haggard. She has her cloak wrapped around her. And she says, greets you all. Says, I'm glad that you could come in here. I don't have to tell you that the Weasel War is taking its toll on these territories. With the long winter, I fear there are many mice currently suffering as well. I intend to ask a great deal of the territories in the years to come, but I want to make sure that most of them understands that Lockhaven serves the territories, not the other way around. To that end, we're parting with a great deal of our remaining stores, and we're sending out relief caravans to various settlements with winter grain to help tide people over until the thaw. I'm tasking you with escorting a grain shipment first to Ivydale, then to Elmos, and then lastly on to Spruce Tuck. Once you arrive at Spruce Tuck and conclude supervising the delivery of the relief food, I would like you to deliver this message to the senior apothecary there. Once that's done, you're to consider yourself at his disposal until he either relieves you or you get further orders from me. Does anyone have any questions?
Yes, the quest log. Could you repeat that a bit slower so we can have a note on that? So, relief to...
Sure. So,
let's break it part by part.
Yeah. Relief to Ivydale, then...
Ivydale, Elmos, Spruce Tuck.
You'll be escorting a grain shipment. Yeah, and it has 3 stops along its leg. First starts with Ivydale, which is really close by. Then a bit further away there's Elmos, and then lastly there's Spruce Tuck.
Okay.
Once you're at Spruce Tuck, you're also supposed to deliver a message.
To...
Senior apothecary.
The senior apothecary.
I'm sure you interrupted
No,
your
it's
explanation.
Talk. And then do whatever the apothecary wants. Right?
Yeah, and then the apothecary will have instructions for you.
Get quest from...
Just the background, my character's raising her giant hand.
Yes, Gerhardt.
What animals have the scouts been seen patrolling because it's cold out? What packs are out?
Well, nothing this close to Lockhaven in terms of larger animals. There's the usual winter birds, squirrels, snakes. Hopefully everything is still hibernating as much as we are. Although you might still find the occasional predator that's been forced out hunting in the snow.
Has the winter been longer?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been longer than it should be.
It's been an especially long winter.
Won't there be more things out because the winter's been longer? Things are starving.
I would expect so, nearer to the scent border. The closer you get to Spruce Tuck, the more likely you are to encounter something that maybe crossed over due to desperation. But for the first leg of your journey, near Lockhaven, there shouldn't be as much.
It's just not.
Will we be escorting civilians at all?
Yes, the grain merchants are civilians.
How many?
You'll be going with 3. 1 to each cart. And at each stop along the road, one of them will drop off of your caravan.
Have we heard news of the condition of the roads?
We've been sending scouts out just as sort of routine patrols, and right now everything is still iced over. You'll have to make your own way overland.
Back in the
Yes.
background hand again.
Gerhardt, again.
The grain, is it on wheels or is it on skis because of the overland on the snow?
It's on Beetleback.
Oh. That's a lot better.
She just nods.
Okay. So I hope it goes without saying that I'm entrusting you to not just get the grain to where it needs to go, but also to be the friendly face of the Mouseguard at each location that you go to. I'd like you to do your best to, with the delivery of these relief supplies, rally the spirits of Mousedom somewhat.
I'm sure we are more than capable of doing such.
Excellent. Then if there's nothing else,
No. She just shakes her head.
you should find the merchants down in the main courtyard. Lennox is the name of the grain merchant who's in charge of your caravan. You guys are expected to depart tomorrow. If there's any preparations you want to do before then, any people you want to see, please take care of it tonight. Other than that, best wishes on your journey.
Unless you say.
What's the appropriate way to address her?
Your
Like,
matriarch?
is she like a
Living God.
queen or like just like a guard? Like I don't know, like the level of
Captain of the guard?
respect
Yeah.
in here.
Is it formal? Is it militaristic?
Isn't her title matriarch?
It is.
Her title is matriarch. She's not a queen, although she rules with almost queen-like power. There's a sort of deliberate humility.
To not make it look like we're in charge of everything
Exactly.
because we control the military. That
Call her a senator.
historically goes wrong.
Yeah. So you could just address her as matriarch.
Okay. Like I don't know, like are
How
we
old is
bowing
she?
or saluting?
Gwendolyn is quite young. She was very young during the Weasel War when she took power.
That usually is what happens during wars. That makes a lot of sense.
It's off to the colonies we go.
I know it would generally take longer because it's winter, which slows everything down. But how long does it normally take to go like between these settlements?
The journey from Lockhaven to Ivydale is maybe 2 days and a night
Okay.
under good conditions.
And then everywhere else is longer. Okay. Well, glad it's on Beetleback because
I didn't realize beetles could live in the cold. I guess they have like furs on them.
I mean,
I don't know how
they're
insects
still,
work.
so they probably all still have it because they live with their own heat. but whatever. Mouseguard logic. Beetle bags, good enough.
I mean, they don't live in the cold very well. The same way that like
Nothing really does.
nothing lives in it well. So
I just mentioned furs.
yeah, they'd get like bundled up.
Yeah. Give those bastards a little coat.
That makes it a lot easier though. Like wheels would be a nightmare. Skis, you're going over hills and shit. That's gonna also suck.
When you beetle back these, they can be spooked.
It does, but they're pretty well trained. They're gonna run it over it comes, yeah.
But they'll try. They're being weighed down by grain.
Which is also something birds like to eat.
Oh
We
boy.
just gave them an entire meal.
No. Meals on wheels.
Alright.
But yeah, she asks you to send in the next patrol on your way out.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll just head out last and stoop down.
But yeah, as you guys go out, you can see down in the courtyard, there's a great caravan assembling. All sorts of beetles and contraptions and mice hustling and bustling this way. Lockhaven has ample food stores, as any kind of deeply militarized fort often will. But it's uncommon for them to open it up and disperse it.
Good enough.
Good. Close. And we're back.
Okay, so you guys head down towards the courtyard.
Yes.
Right.
Before we leave, I'm gonna go say goodbye to my husband.
I don't think we're leaving right now. We're...
Tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So still got an evening.
But that is definitely something you should take care of tonight. Yeah, but first, you guys want to meet with the grain merchants and just coordinate so you're all good to head out on the morrow?
Sure.
So you find Lennox easily enough in the bustle. She's a large, heavy-set, kind of raggedy brown furred mouse. She's in the midst of shouting at everyone and everything that's getting in her way, organizing things. And she sees you, turns, and goes, "Oh, so you must be the guard mice that will be accompanying me. It's good to see you at last."
Yep, that's us.
Yeah, I am Renard, leader of this band, and we will ensure that you have a safe and very enjoyable journey.
Well, I'll hold you to at least one of those. But I have to say, I am a little nervous about heading out into the frigid wasteland that's out there right now. I'd much prefer to be making this journey once the first thaws set in, but orders are orders.
Sadly, empty mouse bellies do not wait. So
It's not so bad. It's quiet out there.
Well, that's very noble of you both. Yeah, so we'll have these beetles ready for you for tomorrow. Let me know if there's... I've never marched in a military convoy before, so you just let me know what we need to do.
Oh, you leave all the military business to us. Do any of you have self-defense training at all? However, can you handle a bow?
I can use a cudgel if people get unruly, but that's about the extent of any training that I have.
How well trained are the beetles? Are they likely to skitter?
Oh, don't you worry about the beetles. The beetles are the best trained beetles you will ever see. These are... I have trained these personally from pupae, larvae, myself. They will do what I tell them to, nothing more, nothing less.
Excellent. Shouldn't be too bad with it being so cold outside. It is quieter. Anything we come across might be not likely to come up. Okay, I'm thinking when we go out, we're gonna need to make our own path, essentially.
Yes, an excellent observation. We will likely need to push through any snowdrifts that might have occurred.
I'll get the shovel.
So I hope your caravan leaders, or caravaneers, don't mind a little extra work. We will need to likely plow a lot of this.
Yeah, I was meaning to ask about that. Do you intend to travel overland, or are we going to burrow?
Burrowing. I mean, it's frozen, so hard to burrow.
Yes, the
It'll
frosted over ground.
It'll take longer, and if you stay in one place too long, hungry things will find us.
Badgers, moles.
Birds.
Birds if we're above ground.
If you stay in one place too long enough, they'll find you.
I'd say overground would be the way to go.
Definitely make the trek faster.
Right, good to know. Well, if you don't mind, I've got to seed all the stores, get everything lined up. We'll meet here in the morning.
Of course, of course. We shall leave you to that.
She turns away back towards the beetles. And yeah, and leaves you guys to you.
Yeah, burrows are no good.
An astute observation.
So you have one night to pass before you head out. If there's anything any of you want to get up to. Lockhaven is a fortress, but it's also a bustling city, and you all have friends and acquaintances here.
Your character's husband is the smith.
Yes.
I'll walk up to you, or I guess I'll turn to you. Hey,
Hi.
we need to talk to your husband.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess I'm going home.
And she did give you the letter. I assume you're going to be carrying it?
Yeah, it's,
He's in charge.
it's
Yeah.
sealed, I guess.
Yeah, it's sealed. Wax seal.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of tuck that into a hidden pouch in my cloak. Sew that back up.
Okay.
So don't suppose the mouse have any winter gear or whatever, so just travel as is pretty much.
They do. They use little acorns as snowshoes if they're
Very
going
cool.
overland. But
Oh my God.
No,
no
warmer
extensive
clothes and
skis.
stuff,
I mean, you could get a slightly warmer cloak, but
I don't have any clothes.
that's right, you don't.
I don't get one. So for me, it's probably like, oh, pack a few little belongings I have, and I know get some, one of those warm travel, what do you get? Travel baked goods. What those are? Like in the morning, like the Lockhaven, like has
Oh,
some,
they're special bread.
yeah, exactly. Just get that fresh in the
acorn
morning.
bread, that grain
Yeah.
bread.
Yeah, we'll get that for everyone. Have a good warm start to the journey.
You know, I'll use some of my allotted rations to bake a few things as well. Just,
That'll raise spirits.
Okay. If you're going to bake rations, do you want to test that?
sure, why not?
Oh boy, dice. So Tyler, explain to us how dice work.
So every mouse has a skill, which is a numerical value that indicates how many dice they roll. And the test gets a difficulty from 1 to 6, depending on how tough it is. Since this is a relatively routine activity, he's going to roll an OB1 test, which means he needs to get 1 success on the dice he rolls in order to pass it. So your skill is what?
Baker? Or 2?
2. So he would roll 2 dice, and if he got a 4, 5, 6 on either of those, it would be enough to pass.
And a 6.
Okay. So you go to your home oven and you spend the evening baking some pastries and manage to get a few warm wintry treats ready for the journey.
Excellent.
Do guardmouse get like their own little homes, or do we sleep in barracks, like communal living spaces?
It depends on your rank.
I'm a guard mouse.
As a guard mouse,
Yeah.
in Lockhaven, you would sleep in the barracks.
Perfect. Just curious.
And
So
you
what's-
guys, sorry, go
Sorry,
ahead.
I was just gonna ask, which was is actually best at pathfinding? I think I am
3.
at 4.
3.
Okay.
3.
Sounds like
helping.
I should be the
Point.
head of the thing. You're the best fighter, so maybe you should take up the rear.
I mean, the best worker, so maybe.
This is actually why we're going to go see the husband.
Ooh, that's smart.
This is literally why we're going to go see your husband.
Yeah.
When you guys do the we'll go over it when we get to it.
Okay.
Did you guys want to talk to the smith?
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go see Alphonse, right? Which is my
So,
4th son, and your husband.
yes. I think he's your 6th kid, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6th kid.
Okay. So Alphonse
As we
is
covered in the intro.
Alphonse is working away over his forge, hammering some swords.
Al,
Oh, hey, it's good to see you.
you're looking well.
Well, it's easy to stay warm when you're working in the forge.
Yes, it is.
What
There's
can
fire
I,
everywhere.
what can I do for you two? He gives you a peck on the cheek.
Kind of just look off to space when you're showing public displays of affection.
It's his office. Public.
We're going outside in the snow. And I'm going to have to work on the snow, clearing paths. Do you have a big coal shovel? And can I take it? And you might not get it back, because we might be killed by birds.
Well, I certainly hope you don't get killed by birds.
That's the plan.
I'm sorry to hear that you're going out. The weather is it's not suitable for patrolling. Yeah, I suppose I have a shovel that you could take. I use it for stirring the coal, but I can always make another.
The bigger flat ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just promise you'll bring her back.
Sure. I'll bring her and the shovel back. I'll gingerly awkwardly take it from him
Okay.
when he hands it over, and I'll ruffle his head. Good son.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah. Do you have a good one?
You too.
Don't ruffle your face roughly.
You
You,
keep
know, you probably have coal in your face now because I was handling the shovel.
My fur's black at least.
Yeah. I'll just kind of back away a bit and then slowly turn around, half looking at you guys, and then break eye contact and walk out.
He's pretty used to that, so.
It's complicated.
Christ.
Now I'm going to go see my ex, Clay.
Okay.
Wait, your exit now?
Yeah, I divorced him a year ago. It's still pretty raw. But we can do me later because Nicole's here with her husband.
I don't really have anything specific. It was just we're hanging out. I don't have anything specific that I want to roleplay or anything. It's just I'm leaving for a mission that's probably dangerous, so I'm going to hang out and try to not stress that it's going to be dangerous, even though she just told me I'm going to get killed by birds.
Yeah, now he's
Yeah.
he's
Now
super
it's-
worried.
Yeah,
It's
right?
on the table.
I was specifically going to try to make it seem like it's
It's a nothing.
whatever.
I was almost going to be like, it's a pretty big deal. It's not a normal patrol.
Well, it's not a patrol, it's a delivery mission.
It's not normal.
Yes, I guess you didn't.
I guess.
Sure. Yeah. So you're gonna see
Alright.
Clay?
Clay does like supplies and stuff. He's not like a blacksmith. He's not like a smith.
quartermaster.
Yeah, a bit.
Okay.
He's like 30. I'm like 50, as we've established. Again, we divorced last winter, so it's been almost like maybe one whole winter, maybe two at most. So it's it was mutual. I initiated.
Okay.
I'll walk up to the quartermaster desk. And is there a bell or like a little thing you knock on?
No, they're pretty attentive, so they see you coming, and someone gives him a little nudge, and he turns. And
I still have the
looks at
shovel too, just in my hands.
you. Yeah, sort of turns and shakes his head, turns back to what he's doing, finishes it up, and comes over to see you. And says, "Yes. What can I do for you?"
Hey, Rocky.
Hey.
Yeah, his name's Clay. It's a cute nickname.
I thought you just
You're really bad at being a wife.
It's having a senior moment.
You were just getting the name wrong. You're getting them
No, it's a
mixed up. And I'm
nickname.
like, oh my
Jesus
god.
Christ. I called her. I called your husband Al.
Yeah, that's clearly a nickname.
Yeah. Anyway, hey Rocky was the last thing it said.
I told you not to call me that anymore.
I'm sorry. We're going topside to do deliveries in the snow.
It's rough.
Yeah, it's fine. It's quiet. You know, quiet. Snow makes everything peaceful. But the snow, remember with the weasels in the last winter, makes things bright. Do you have any of those little eye things that stop the bright from like messing up your vision when you're trying to swing?
Like,
The eye things that keeps the snow light from hitting you when you're swinging around at animals.
having eye things, we would like wrap bandanas around, make like a little slit.
Yeah. Do we have any of that for the field mice we're bringing? They might not know.
Yeah, I suppose I could.
Not
I
a lot
could
of
try
folk
and
go out in
find
winter.
some. When are you heading out?
Tomorrow.
Give me an hour. I'll see what I can rustle out.
Thanks.
Don't mention it.
I'll just kind of lean against the quartermaster wall, looming, just kind of playing with the shovel in my hands.
Timing him.
I feel we should mention once again that Gearhart is a fucking giant.
I'm a big girl.
Mice actually have goggles in this as well. There's actually one of the pictures they have little goggles.
Yeah, I was seeing if we had snowblind goggles. She just doesn't know the word for it. Or if we have any in stock after the war.
I mean, they're not that hard to maybe just take a little bit of bark or whatever.
Or leaves. You know.
After a little bit, he comes back with a couple pairs of goggles.
I'm not the quartermaster. I don't know these things.
It says here, this ought to help you out.
Yeah, that'll help. You can give them to the little guys so they don't get lost when they're running.
Yeah, try and bring everyone back.
That's the plan. I'll get these back too, and the shovel.
Get everything back.
Thanks, Rocky.
Yeah, you take care.
You too. I'll reach out to ruffle his head, but
He
hesitate.
pulls back and kind of says, "Let's not get too friendly."
Yeah, no, it's right. It's a good thing.
I gotta get back to work.
I like wave and just again do that same back away, break eye contact, leave.
Very mutual.
Very mutual.
It was mutual.
Yeah, so you all do your respective things, get as ready as you can for the journey, and then you meet back in the morning. You're one of the first ones out. Lennox is there, waiting for you guys, ready to go. You see that there's 3 beetles all bundled up with large sacks of grain strapped onto their backs. Lennox introduces you to Raina and Nigel, who are the 2 other merchants who will be traveling with you. And then says, "Well, let's get on with it. The sooner we get going, the sooner we can get back."
I'll bring that bag and start giving goggles to the field mice and stuff.
Okay, great. They're happy to see them.
And you guys are you want these?
Cut over the whole supply of for everybody of the freshly baked stuff. Like, hey, got some.
Yeah.
Especially
good
when
thinking.
thinking.
Oh, and make sure that you checked off your pass for your skill.
I did, yeah.
Okay, good. So every time you do a skill, you mark off a pass or a failure. And when you get a certain amount, you level up that skill.
Yeah, if you get 6 passes or 5 fails, if I recall.
No, that's. I think
It's equal to
your
amount of
rate.
passes equal to your skill, and fails equal to your skill minus 1.
Yeah. Oh. Huh. I think to get the first rank, you have to have enough passes or fails equal to your nature.
Alright.
If you're helping someone with a skill, how does that work?
You don't take it off.
Okay.
That seems fair.
Yeah. Because the pass is the victory here.
Alright.
So that's why sometimes if you're doing a skill, you might not always want to have the person with the best skill in it do it if you're trying to be
Teaching
Trying to,
people.
yeah.
strategic, or teaching.
He can teach people.
By doing absolutely nothing.
Okay, so the great big doors to Lockhaven creak open, and you guys see the vast, snowy, wintry expanse before you. Everything is white. Everything is frozen. It's spring, so even though it's unseasonably cold, there have still been some rains, which have all just frozen. So now the trees are covered in ice. Everything glistens. Everything is shiny. Everything is bright. The sun is coming through feebly, but it's reflected 1,000 times off of everything, and the snowy expanse just stretches before you. So now you have to get from where you are to where you are going.
Yes.
We'll describe ourselves.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I guess I'll start.
Yeah, we're going to describe ourselves to you guys listeners to start off the session.
All right. Renard is a red-furred mouse, kind of slim, bit tall. He wears a rose-colored cloak and a a diamond print pattern, rose and blue kind of head guard that covers up most of his head. Yeah, that's
What's his, did you describe his cloak?
Rank.
his cloak. Yeah, Rose. He's leader. As far as the is that what it's called? Leader.
Patrol leader.
Patrol leader. Yeah, he is the patrol leader of the group.
How old is he?
He is 28 years old.
What kind of weapons or whatever do you have?
Oh, he has a spear and a harp on his belt. A small little harp.
A liar.
A lyre. That's the one. Yeah, that's him.
My character is Finn. Usually the mouse will have like a last name. He's like from the small paws, because the brood when you see them, they're really small, and he's half the size of a normal mouse or whatever. And he's a small brown mouse, 15 years of age, still a tender paw, still learning. Doesn't have a cloak because you don't get them as a tender paw. You have to prove yourself first. He just has some basic tools like a knife and a small sling and some hook and line. And yeah, he's like small, timid mouse.
Gearhart, she is 50. She stands twice the size of a normal mouse almost. She's just a big, massive mouse, mostly from work. Her cloak is blue and white. The white part is kind of fuzzed to look like clouds. Her fur is brown and covered in patchworks of scarring. She was pretty thick into the Weasel War, including a scar that classically goes over one of her eyes and kind of makes it shut a little bit and just leaves like a stitch mark of bare fur. Her tail is all chopped and cut in different ways that have been put back together at odd kinks and angles. She's just big and massive and usually carries a large, angry-looking mallet or hammer that looks like it's been smithed and forged to be her sized. That classically she carries with her. For this trip, it might be on one of the beetles or on one of the carts while she uses that shovel to clear drifts. She kind of always stares dead ahead, just into the middle distance, like she's not really focusing on anything.
My character is Gwen. She is a 20-year-old black mouse. Her cloak is like spring leaf green, so light green. She's average build for a mouse. She's not really big or small. And she has a spear with her.
Cool.
She tends to be kind of, I want to say frenetic, but I don't know if that's the right word. Kind of always moving.
Twitchy.
In motion.
Not quite
Fidgety.
twitchy, but yeah.
Back.
So before you all set out and begin your journey, you all also have to have a goal for the session. Do we want to go around and each person can say the goal that they come up with for their character?
Sounds good, yeah. I'll start with mine. Renard's goal is to make sure that everyone reaches the first destination unharmed.
Finn's goal is to prove himself useful as a tender paw.
Gearhart wants to do the bulk of the work.
And by work, I assume you mean
Physical labor.
labor. Okay. My character's goal is to forge a safe path, because I'm going to be the one forging the paths.
Okay, great. Yeah, so you guys see the vast frozen wasteland outside. The beetles begin to walk forward with you, and we're off into the first leg of the journey. What is your plan for getting to Ivydale? You said you wanted to travel overland.
Yep.
Are you looking to do it just as fast as possible? Are you moving
As safely as possible.
as safely
Yeah.
as possible? So sticking to trees, staying in cover, not going into large open fields or anything if you
No,
can avoid
that's
it.
a death wish.
Yeah, having the caravanneers rest every once in a while in a safe area so that we can forge a path ahead and then have them follow us. Some kind of signal, maybe, so that we could get them to follow from afar. Though we should also keep someone with them, just in case they're
Yeah.
ambushed.
So I can definitely like stay behind with them, and I guess you'll be doing the path clearing, so we don't want ahead. And what about you two?
Well, I'm the one that's making the path, like deciding
So-
where we're going, essentially.
Okay, so get the two of you in the front, and I guess the two of us could be with the pack
Yeah.
Okay.
when that comes up.
So now that you've got your plan and you're all set out, what we're going to do is instead of just doing a simple skill roll to determine this, we're actually going to do a conflict between you and the frozen landscape.
Man versus nature.
Mouse versus nature.
Okay.
So how we do a conflict is first we separate up into teams. There's my team, which will be winter, or well, a wintry spring, and there's your team. And then within your team, you're going to be subdivided into pairs.
Okay.
So you guys pair up. I think maybe it would make sense to go patrol leader Tenderpaw.
Yep.
And then the two of you together. And then within a conflict, each side gets 3 actions. So how we'll do it is you guys will go Team A, Team B, Team A. And then in the second round of the conflict, Team B, Team A, Team B, choosing the action. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Sure.
Okay. So the first step of a conflict is to determine our disposition. In order to do that, you'll need to decide who the leader of your team is, which in this situation would most likely be you, since you're doing the pathfinding and you're breaking out, forging
Yes.
through it.
I also am technically higher rank.
You mean team for like the whole group, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he's higher rank, but you're the one that's in charge of this all.
Yeah.
Sure.
So you need to roll your Pathfinder skill and add it to your health.
Add it to my health.
Yes.
So,
So
health
your
sheet.
numerical health value.
Do you mean add the result to my health?
Yes.
Okay.
The amount of successes you get to your health.
You said 4, 5, 6s?
4, 5, 6.
Yes.
So I got only 1 success plus 4?
What's your health? 4.
So 5?
I rolled much better for the weather. So my starting disposition is 10, and your starting disposition is
5?
5. Okay.
Okay.
So now I'm going to select 3 actions that the weather is going to take. I'm not going to let you know. You guys are going to select your actions. Decide which team is Team A and which team is Team B, and then we'll reveal the actions simultaneously.
Okay.
That's me, team
You guys be team A. Team A.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are team A. The A team.
So within this, how it works is figure out what your action is going to be, and then figure out which skill you're going to use for that action. And then the other person in that team could use an adjacent skill to help it. So for example, you could choose the attack action and use your Pathfinder to do that skill, and you could use Scout or Laborer or something, just something you can describe in a way of how you would be assisting her.
Yeah.
And then you would give her 1 die to work with her thing.
Oh, just 1 die, no matter what.
1 die to help. Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, so what's the conflict here? Us trying to cut our way through to the others.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm glad you mentioned that
Yeah.
because after we do disposition, we also have to determine the goals.
Ah.
So the weather is going to have a goal, and you guys are going to have a goal.
Mhm.
And then how well we do in the conflict determines how close we get to our goals.
Okay.
So our goal is to find a safe route to town.
Yeah.
Yes. And my goal is to get the mice lost.
Okay.
It's not gonna be great.
So I pick one of these action descriptions, is what you're saying? Well, we pick one of these action descriptions, is what you're saying?
Yes. An attack, a defend, a feint, or a maneuver.
Okay. So it sounds like attack is...
Sounds like we're on the offensive.
Yeah, an attack action attempts to directly reduce your opponent's disposition. If you're in a debate, that's by presenting evidence against them.
Straw man, personal attack. Straw man, personal attack.
Exactly.
What about it?
In a fight, an attack is an attack. In this, pathfinding, scouting, I think those would be an attack. A defense is an attempt to shore up your own side and regain health.
Okay.
And a feint is an attempt to circumvent or eclipse your opponent's attack. And a maneuver is an attempt to reposition or gain some kind of advantage.
Okay. Interesting.
I think we're attacking.
Yeah.
So, what are we doing specifically? Like, if you're pathfinding, is it just us using pathfinding to find a route?
Sounds like...
I can aid you with my pathfinding.
Okay.
I have 3 dice too.
Okay.
Usually you cannot aid a skill with the same skill.
Oh, then I'm going to help you with labor.
Clearing obstacles and the snow.
I brought a shovel for it.
You did bring a shovel. You have-
Equipment bonus?
Oh, it's only 1 dice I'm doing there.
Yeah.
So I just roll pathfinding plus 1 die.
Yep. I assume.
Well, wait.
Plus your...
I lock in what I'm doing. So
Ah.
I've done that. I've written down what the weather's doing.
Okay.
You guys can now discuss your strategy and figure
So
out what
it's-
you want to do.
A, B, A on the first round. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
ABA. And you guys are deciding you want to start off by attacking, attempt to reduce, just tackle this head on, get it done. Following up with
Keep those fucking mice safe.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna go for using speech to command people and kind of instruct everything.
okay. So also an attack action.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. And you guys are finishing with
I mean,
Well, once we spearhead through, do you think we should use defend?
I mean,
like save
I
up
could
our energy?
say...
I'm also trying to figure out what exactly defend would
Represents
mean
in the fiction.
in this case.
I mean, I think defend is
Right.
once you take damage, quote unquote, then you use defend to gain that back. So it's like healing, right? In the conflict.
yes, it's healing. So whatever you think would contribute to healing
So like
you in this.
suddenly we're, I don't know, attacked by winter by, I don't know, snow flying on us. We're gonna have, so we do defend by like, okay guys, let's have a camp here and let's wear this, I don't know, this storm through or something.
Our defensive
So-
action could be once we blaze a trail. If we take it, then we could go back and start properly checking it, safeguarding it, marking it, and carving it through the snow.
What if I
They
attack
haven't
bolstering.
taken damage, though.
But
Attack
we
before?
could. It's a gamble. We're doing a prisoner's dilemma.
like, what if I attack with a scout because I got
So
scout?
we're gambling that in this exchange, we're going to be attacking with 3 things that the weather's going to do. So if
Sure.
our last thing is defense, odds are in the 3 that are coming down the pike, 1 might be an attack.
So
This is how we're supposed to think about it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I could say go scout in advance by myself because then I can use my loner trait. So I go with the team to scout ahead for what will be pathfinding and blaze the trail and come back and report to that, I guess. And then, yeah, you could do your leadership skill, like, oh, going that way or something.
Sure.
Okay.
But the action's going to be his leadership because that's the
No,
action, right?
I mean, you can pick whatever you want, right? So I can say, hey, let's do my scouting.
Oh, so you're scouting, that's the one die to his roll?
No, he'd be supporting me because I'd be doing the scouting.
So you're doing a roll.
Yeah.
And you get a die from him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that might be the most useful at the moment.
So you guys are ready?
Yeah, it's going to be attack and defense from us, I think, right, Nicole?
So do attack, defend. Oh yeah.
Weather Watcher?
Ooh, how many dice do you got?
2? It's not a very high skill, but I don't know what the heck else.
Can I add labor back in?
I mean, you could defend with labor and say, oh, we're gonna.
All my skills are 2 except for fight and pathfinding.
What
No.
other skills do you have?
And they're all 2s. Like,
I'm gonna say that your goggles and your shovel count as weapons
Okay.
for the conflict. So you can decide now what you want to apply them to. Treat it like a sword, which is you pick one of the actions that you say, I'm going to add 1 die to either attack, defense, maneuver, feint, and then for the conflict you get 1 die on that.
Okay.
and the shovel I have is just a normal shovel. It's not big for me.
No, it's just normal shovel.
Okay, so yeah, for the defense then, we should use labor and use the shovel. And then you can aid me.
Okay.
Okay.
That way I'll have 4 dice.
Okay. Why is it 4 dice?
2 from labor, 1 from the shovel, 1 from you.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're going to use weather watching.
Okay.
Okay, so the weather is defending, feinting, and attacking.
Mm-hmm.
It defends by the wind starts to gather up and build into a storm. It's not hitting you yet, but it's at that stage where it's starting to sort of draw its strength. So we roll versus each other, and whoever gets more successes applies their result.
Okay. Now just
Because
to...
this is a versus test.
Okay.
So the weather rolls 4 dice.
I got 2 and then I have another die from you. 3 successes.
Okay, I also got 3 successes, so we cancel each other out.
I don't
So
add
you-
anything to it, right? It's just a skill?
Yeah.
Unless you have some traits that.
And then health and gear.
At health.
So with health, what do you get in successes?
Okay, because I rolled 3 successes and my health is 4. So,
Sorry, I meant help and gear. Is what
Help,
You, is what
okay.
You have,
yeah,
which
okay.
is the die
kind of
that
gear
you
do you
got
have?
from
A spear. I guess goggles, but that doesn't help with that.
it. Well, I said you guys can determine what you're applying it to.
Yeah, so you can use your goggles.
So if you want to use it for attack, you can use it for attack, but then you'll be locked into using it for attack for the rest of the conflict.
Interesting.
Okay. Makes more sense to use the shovel for attack and the goggles for defend, but okay.
Sure, then do that.
So what am I doing?
You're good, you're done.
Okay. So it's a tie,
It's a tie,
nothing
you're done.
changes.
Does the
Okay.
shovel add anything?
No, because I'm using it for attack. Oh, wait.
No, you're defending.
No, I already gave you a die. Like, I can't add anything more than 1 die. It's gear you have.
So use your. Because after this, you have 1 more action in the second round.
Yeah.
So I guess you can use the goggles now and. Yeah, and
But
later.
blanking out on a versus the weather is not bad.
Yes, that's fine.
That's fair. Okay. And next is a feint. And the nature is going to feint by making it appear as if there is a safe path that travels away, but
Okay.
it's actually just leads you into a snowbank.
Okay. And I'll attack with my scout to scout ahead that path. And I will use my gear and I'll use my independent trait because I'm going on my little lonesome as a small mouse.
Yeah, what do traits do?
Whenever they are applicable, you can
When it's applicable, yeah, you can add a die, or you can use a trait against yourself to earn a check.
What do checks do?
Checks let you do things in the player's turn. So right now it's the GM turn where I dictate everything that happens. In the player's turn, you can spend a check to do a test, or to introduce something new to the story, or attempt to accomplish your own goals and ends.
Okay, so
You also use it to alleviate conditions and the status effects that you get.
so if I use a trait for bonus, I get 1 extra die.
Yeah.
If I use a trait against myself, do I lose that die? Do I lose a die?
Yes.
Yeah, you can't both use it for and against yourself.
No, but I have 2 different traits. So say I could use short, say, hey, it's winter, I'm having problems navigating because I'm small and I get trapped in the snow. To offset that, I guess, yeah, because you were saying that checks are useful to have?
Yes.
So yeah, I will use my independent trait, add 1 dice, because I'm doing it alone. But I'll use short to hinder myself, because saying, hey, it's somewhat fresh snow, therefore I'm having problems clearing it because I'm a small mouse.
Okay.
So I got 3 from my scout's trait, 1 for the gear I'm using, my goggles. You're helping me?
Yeah, so extra die.
There's extra, plus 1 minus 1 to cancel it out.
No, I fainted.
Uh-huh.
If you feint versus defense, the defender can't test.
I'm attacking.
I know, which means that I cannot test.
Aha.
So I am rolling nothing.
Okay, so I roll 5 dice and
Peter, kill the weather.
1, 2, 3 successes.
Okay, so you easily see that the trail is a false trail, and you tell everyone on patrol, don't follow that.
Okay.
You stay away from it, and you reduce the weather's disposition by 3.
Aha.
Good job, Peter.
I'm being useful. Aha.
Next, the weather is attacking. You guys are
Defending.
Defending.
so we reverse this. I roll my 4 dice against you.
What's your
We
pool?
proceed.
So my pool, just make sure I got this. I'm doing labor, and I'm using my shovel, which I think we're saying is the defending thing, like a sword.
Okay.
So
And
that's
Nicole's
3,
helping you.
and you're using Weather Watcher, so that's 4. I
Are you-
have 4 dice.
Are you using your traits?
Oh yeah, I'm massive. So can that give me a die?
Yes, it can.
You're very hard.
So 5 dice. Don't fuck up.
Just mark that you've used the trait.
I will. 5 and a 7.
Devon, roll dice.
Tricky die. Don't know how that exists. I rolled a 5 and a 7.
2 5s.
2 5s.
Okay, I rolled a single 4. So you reduce the disposition by 1 further.
Yes. Suck a dick nature.
So it's all 6, or sorry, 5
We're gonna pump a
still.
bunch of plastic into you.
So defend can reduce the opponent's disposition?
Yeah, the difference between the two.
Sorry. No, yours would go up.
But
Oh yeah, we were defending.
Yes,
but
'cause you're
we're
defending.
at the level we've started at, therefore nothing happens.
So you stay there.
Okay.
I mean, that's good. That's better than losing disposition.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, you kind of have to
Lower the...
suss out what your opponent's going to pick. And they tend to go in logical patterns. And once you're in a conflict with something, in these breaks before the next round, in a conflict with the season, you can use Weather Watcher to try and suss out what the pattern will be. Against an animal, you can try and use the War Mouse.
So, if we use Weather Watcher in this cluster of turns, we know what it would do for the next cluster?
Yeah.
Aha.
Like,
But now it's not useful for us because there's only 2 of those in a conflict, right?
only 2 of what?
Conflicts? Or
No,
does
it goes
go-
it goes until someone's disposition hits 0.
Ah, okay. So yeah, we should be using Weather Watcher. Each...
So now you can make an OB2 Weather Watcher roll, and I'll give you a statement about the pattern.
so
It's after the turn, not during the turn.
for you had to use it as one of your actions. Okay.
You don't use it as one of your actions.
Okay.
this time.
Does only one of us get to roll?
Yes.
Okay, who has the best weather watching?
I got nothing.
What are we gonna call?
I have 2.
2.
So
Oh, don't look at me, guys.
I don't think you have it.
Yeah, I don't have it at 2. All of my skills are at 2, except for fighter, which is at
Oh,
6.
shoot. I haven't been keeping track of passing and failing stuff.
oh yeah.
You only get 1 check for a conflict.
Okay. Like total ever, or 1 per skill?
Like total. Like you get 1 check of conflict.
So, I would get a check for laborer. Do I write in a 1 or like a yes?
1. Because you have to count them.
You passed. So let's say you.
So I put 1 under laborer P.
Yes.
And do I put 1 under massive?
That's for counting how many checks that trades are.
Yes.
So if you use it against yourself, you earn a check, and you record
If
it.
I don't, I just get a die.
If you don't, you just get a die.
Okay.
But you use it, so you write that you've used it once.
Oh, okay.
Because-
Used it.
Yeah, because you have limited.
Yeah, you have a
Positive
limited amount of
uses.
uses.
Yeah, if
You
I was
can
able
use
to
it
finagle taking massive 3 times.
How many times can you use it?
once per session at level 1.
Yeah,
At level 3, it's just 1 success all day. Every day.
yeah. That's why I'm going for small 3. Very useful. Okay,
And
So,
he's
no
got his at
matter-
level 2, so he can use it on each roll if he wants.
No matter
twice.
like which different skills you
Twice
use,
per
you
race.
have to pick
Right.
one for a combat
This
that you're
character
going
should
to
update.
decide that you're passing and failing.
I'm sorry, what was that?
No matter how many different skills I'm using during this conflict,
Yes.
Yes.
I only get to count one of those passes or fails.
Yes.
One.
But you can choose whichever one in the conflict. So if you use Pathfinder 3 times and you succeed twice and fail once, you can pick whether you take the success or the fail.
So, 1 pass or 1 fail, not 1 pass and 1 fail. Okay, good to know.
You choose the check.
Yes.
Well, I succeeded at weather watching, so I'm going to count that one.
So roll with the watcher.
No, when for defense, I use weather watcher.
Anyway, one of you two should roll rather. Who has the higher health?
I think I do.
No, but do we add?
Yeah, you had health too, don't
I
you?
think our
No,
health
this is a
the
check.
same, but no.
Check.
So you're
So
rolling
this is not starting this position.
Okay.
It's a check. Can we aid the weather watcher?
Yes, if you explain how you're doing it.
I've got survivalist, which means I probably have been around in the winter times foraging a little bit, so I sort of know the weather.
That sounds valid to me.
Okay.
I'm a survivalist, so I know what to look out for.
Only one place you can aid them.
Oh, right, shit.
Yeah. So the two of us are working together. You're rolling.
I assumed it was Kevin.
No, not on a skill test.
Hmm?
So that's when you're in the conflict, you're divided into teams. That's why only one person goes. But if you're just doing a skill test, if he's baking and he's baking goods, you all can help him. You just all have to explain how you're doing it in a different way.
The book even has recommendations for what skills work well with it. Like science works well when someone's baking.
Okay. So
This is the most confusing it will be, I promise.
That's fine. It's not even that bad.
Just as we go.
We've done Exalted 3rd Edition. This is fucking nothing.
So anyone can pass him a die as long as they can explain why they're doing it.
But I can't use weather watcher to help.
Yes.
'Cause it
Are you
can't be
saying
the
yes
same
that I
skill.
cannot?
I'm sorry.
Or-
No, you can't use the same skill to help us.
You are
Okay.
correct, would have been the response.
Okay.
This die goes from 4 to 9.
Hang on a second. I'm sorry.
Alright, so you're doing whatever. How the hell can we help him? We're in a different team on a different, like, we're far away from him.
I mean, we're coordinating together.
We're out of the conflict right now.
So now we can just, like,
Doing a
go
skill.
back and forth
Yeah.
in an abstraction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm a survivalist.
Do we all have to use a different skill?
Yes.
You
No.
can't use survivalist. He's using survivalist.
Goddamn snake.
Pathfinder or Scout, maybe? Okay, well, figure
Well,
out.
I'll use Scout, because I can just scout ahead in my giant lumbering form.
Okay.
With my Dexter-jector hands smashing around.
Nicole, what will. Do you have any.
I'm just going to use Pathfinder
Because you're good at it.
because the weather's trying to. Oh wait, what are we trying to do? Figure out what it's doing.
We're trying to figure out what its rock, paper, scissors choices are going to be.
No,
Okay.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Yes, that's what we're doing.
no, but we're currently trying to figure out what skill can we help Kevin with.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
Yeah, we know that part.
Okay. So.
Pathfinder's the best option because you're a Pathfinder.
So I get attack and I get defend, but how would fainting work against weather?
Yeah, sometimes the abstraction is a little hard.
I think Fanny is like giving
Um,
something.
The way to think of it is fainting. I mean, it's hard because like defense for weather is also kind of hard.
I mean, I can kind of get defense where you're just being careful and stuff like that. Attack is like forging yourself forward. Also maneuver. Maneuver is also kind of...
You could also just say...
Maneuver gives you an advantage. So you could say something like if you busted out the buns that you had previously baked to give everyone a little energy, that would be like a maneuver.
I mean, because like feints used against maneuvers, right?
Feint deactivates defense and gets screwed against attack.
So, if weather's trying to fortify itself around here, you could just go somewhere else.
I would say weather fortifies itself by outlasting you,
Yeah.
by making the conflict take longer, because the weather never gets tired, but you do. So I would say feint might be, in this situation, finding a shortcut, or double timing.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah,
Wait, so
sometimes the abstraction is a little forced.
So what are we doing to help Weather Watcher? You were doing
Survivalist.
survivalist. You were
Pathfinder? I guess I'm like... I don't know. I don't know how to describe how that would work.
You're not always going to all be able to help.
well. Yeah, you
I
could
mean,
be
pathfinding works just fine for... What were we doing again? What was the
Trying to
action?
figure out what the weather's going to do next.
Yeah, for dictating the weather, pathfinding's great, because that means you can find the trail that's going to be least affected by the weather with the tree
Yeah.
lines and stuff.
and I could do scout because
Done.
checking ahead, like what's weather looking at the horizon, and like oh, well,
Survivalist, I know exactly.
Jimmying up a tree to
Yeah, exactly.
check out the sky. Sure.
Survivalist is also easy. I know how to make sure the camp is set up properly in the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone can pass him a die.
So 3 dice to you, to
Take
your
our spirit bomb energy.
3 dice.
plus your
Weather Watcher?
That's
My Weather Watcher of 2.
Don't use the die that goes from 7 to nothing.
And I'm going to use a tool to give myself a 6th one. I'm going to use the goggles.
Okay.
And then I choose what type of move this is. Like what?
No,
No,
We're
you're just
detecting-
doing a skill test.
Oh,
You're doing a
okay.
skill
What-
test to suss out what it's going to do.
It's literally us detecting what the weather's going to do for rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
So we have insider knowledge when we choose our things to cancel out screwed up.
My wisest work here. My skills.
What are your traits?
Open-minded, impetuous, foolish, innocent, and compassionate.
You have so many traits.
Yeah. I think he's at the maximum.
Oh boy.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I don't think any of those will help here.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a 6 and a 5.
Okay, so you get the 2.
Yep.
Alright, so last round it defended, feinted, and attacked, and it's going to swap one of those for next round. So 2 will stay the same.
If we can attack versus a feint, that'd be amazing, because it gets no dice.
And I'm going to lock them in before you guys discuss, so it doesn't...
And we just carve its heart out.
Okay.
Okay, I'm good.
All right.
What's his, the weather's disposition at?
6.
7. Because we didn't reduce to with defense.
Because you didn't
so
reduce
7. So we
What
figure
did it defended, feinted, and attacked?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to do 2 of those in the same order, and then the third thing is going to be different, but not necessarily the actual third thing.
No, it's going to do one in the same order, and it's going to change 2 of them, because it's going to swap, you said.
No.
Sorry, I misspoke.
Okay.
One of those 3 things will be different.
Okay.
so
Defend, feint, attack. And you guys get 2 turns this time.
yeah.
We get the middle one. If the middle one's a feint, we should lock in an attack.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just, we'll lock in an attack,
It's a good gamble.
and you guys can figure out what you're going to do against an attack and a defend and a possible attack.
What were the 3 original? It was an attack.
Defend, feint, attack.
Okay. And
DFA.
What trumps defense?
Feint.
Not that wall.
So if we make all 3 decisions to counter the original decisions, then we'll get 2 out of 3.
It
Yeah.
sounds presidential ME.
Yeah. So let's do feint for the first one.
Yeah. So
And I'm going to What would be a good feint against weather?
I mean, I could be scouting / pathfinding again, because that's not the decent skills for me. And try to find some unusual shortcut, maybe by being small and squeezing through some foliage.
Okay, if you want to do it, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I guess. And then you'll be doing something with defense later. Okay, so I'll be scouting, try to find some clever way around with a feint.
So you guys are locked in?
For the first one, yeah, and you guys are attacking. And for the final one, I will defend. That was the decision.
Yeah.
Because attack trumps feint, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll be using my orator skills and handing out baked goods and telling jokes.
Those
To
maneuver,
bolster our,
Yeah.
or to take down its just, I don't know.
those maneuver trump attack better than defense trumps attack.
No.
No.
Versus an attack, defense is the best.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll be bolstering people's morale to defend against the weather.
Okay. The weather is attacking, feinting, and attacking.
Attacking, feinting, and attacking. Hey, we're good.
So mine.
Yeah, actually, because we were fainting first,
Yeah.
which means.
The
Which
weather's
means you
going
are
to just
not
beat us.
feinting. Yeah. Weather is just going to roll its attack against you.
Oh,
Which is fine, because we're just going to get our attack on the weather, and then it's attacking for the last one.
yeah. And then
And you're defending?
Yep.
Hey, that's close enough.
Okay. So what were you trying to do for your
I
feint?
was trying to find some clever way around by being small and going to some foliage and trying to again find some clever way around.
So you try to do that, but the wind blows up, and it gets in your eyes, and you just go snowblind.
Okay.
You're not able to.
Should wear goggles.
I was wearing goggles, but they were for attacking.
And
Attack
I
goggles.
rolled 4 successes,
Ooh.
so your disposition is reduced by 4.
So we're at 1, guys. Okay.
Okay. And now the reverse.
Now we're attacking.
Yeah, so what were we doing with attacking? It was probably going to be me laboring, or what do you got for attacking that might be good? What's your high skill?
My high school is pathfinding at 4. I have a bunch of other things at 3, including survivalist.
How about pathfinding, and I'll help you out with scout. Like I'll go forward a bit more and try to find out if there's like lakes or like cricks nearby the frozen over that we might fall into.
What?
So I'll give you a dice. You have 5 dice.
Okay.
Were the goggles for attacking or defending?
Attacking.
So
You should
I'll
add
go.
your goggles. So 6 dice.
No successes.
You're killing us. Dice. Do you have any traits you could apply?
I mean, that's,
Do you have any?
dice have been cast.
None?
So, nothing.
I could have.
What do you got?
Well, I'll remind you guys that you also have feint and persona points.
Oh wait,
And I believe you started with 1 of each.
Tell us about those, Magic Man.
So a fate point allows you to re-roll 6s, which is not going to help you in this situation. But a persona point, you can spend 1 to tap your nature and add your nature onto a roll.
Is this something that nature will?
Yeah, there's going against your nature, and there is something that is within your nature.
Oh.
Navigating a snowy field is within mouse nature.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, let's do that. We're not trying to build an H-bomb here. That'd be secret.
So what does that one let me do again? It lets me
It lets
Add
you
your nature die.
add your nature roll. So your nature is what?
5.
So you roll 5 more dice.
Okay.
That's really powerful.
2 successes.
Yes.
3 successes.
Oh, 3. I always forget the 4, sorry.
Also rock and roll.
Since I have a check,
Building
what can I
H-bomb
use
when
that
it's your nature.
for?
You have to use it in the player's turn, which
Okay.
we'll get to when we get to the player's turn.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in the GM's turn because he's controlling the weather right now, and we're reacting against it.
Cool.
So the weather is down to 4. Okay. And we ended with weather attacking, you guys defending?
Yeah, defending. So I've got 2 die for that for orator.
And defending heals us, right?
Yes.
Yeah, God.
Okay, I am going to add a tool die because of the baked goods.
Okay.
Ooh.
As a defense. And I'm going to use my compassionate trait. As a
Okay.
positive.
So what's
Because you're keeping the camp's spirits up.
Yeah.
Nice.
so what skill are you using?
Orator.
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 Oral.
Orator. Okay.
And you're helping him?
Yes. What would help here? Well, Pathfinder, Scout, Survivalist, Laborer, Haggler, Weaver, and Harvester. So maybe I find something with a Harvester, sort of food or...
Scout out a pine cone or something. Those burn really nice in the fire and make it look really nice. And the whole thing just break off.
Survivalist, yeah, something to
Something fun.
make a good
You
fire.
also just
yeah.
add a manipulator and just lie about how we're gonna be okay.
You see the size of that bastard? We'll be there before the end of the night.
So what are you doing? How are you helping?
I guess with Harvester to help make the campfire, I guess. Some good food.
More like survivalist, which you also have.
Yeah, sure.
So that'll work. Okay, so
that's
take a dice for
nine.
that. And we roll straight versus.
5, 6, 4, 4. So 4 successes.
I have 2 successes, so you guys go up by 2.
Okay. And take no damage.
So we're 3 to 4.
I think technically the weather won.
Slightly. So it is slightly lost.
Attrition.
Well, we just go to another round.
Ah.
It goes until someone's disposition is 0.
Ah.
Um,
So do we roll weather forecasting again?
no, you don't need to. You don't need to change it. It will. The same rule will continue to apply. So once again, the weather will change one of its traits.
So
It was attack, feint, attack.
and now it's you guys, us, and you.
Crap. Attack, feint, attack is going to change one of them.
So
I mean, what about it's going to change the feint in the middle?
Let me decide before you talk,
Sure.
so it doesn't
Oh,
like.
okay.
So it doesn't influence
Yeah.
what he's. How do you
I guess we should be talking because we're still fucking recording.
Okay,
how
I'm good.
do beliefs and instincts work again?
So at the end of the session, we'll go around and you
That's
guys
the
will
key
get
phrase there.
rewards based on whether you acted or not.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Let's.
so it used to do attack, feint, attack last time.
What are the odds it's going to still feint in the middle?
Again, the best strategy is still to counter it exactly, so you get 2 out of 3. So that 2 out of 3 times you have the advantage.
Plus, we're really low, so we might want to defend
Yeah, anyway.
a fair amount.
Just 3 defense. But
Well-
then we're not making any progress.
Well, think
Defend,
of it this
attack.
way. We should do defense twice, because if there's 2 attacks there and they don't move, we don't want to get hit with 2 goddamn
Yeah.
attacks. And we need to heal.
So,
The feint in the middle, we should meet with an attack, just in case it changes from a feint to a defense, because...
then it shores up itself, therefore we want to attack it as well.
Well, if it does a defense, we can at least mitigate what it'll heal, so we don't lose ground. And there's no real other move it can do that will whiff an attack, right?
What's a defense versus defense like?
You both, it's versus.
Okay.
It's on your check. You
So-
both roll and it happens.
So
Is
yeah,
there anything that
and
can make an attack whiff, like the way doing feint versus attack makes the feint fail?
No.
So, if we want to do this from
Yeah.
a numbers
Defense,
perspective.
attack,
defense is like defense.
Okay.
So, how are we defending? I think you're pathfinding.
Is this trying to make us lost, right?
It's trying to make you lost.
You definitely want to defend with your shovel, because that's a defensive weapon.
Well, I'm not going to be probably making it probably cool.
I mean-
She has better dice.
You guys are going to make 2 rolls this turn, because ABA.
Cool still has the better dice pool.
Then you will shovel?
Oh yeah. My skills are... I am good at 2 things, Pete.
Okay.
One thing.
I'm pretty good at pathfinding when there isn't a pathfinder with us.
Okay.
I cannot stress
So-
enough how specialized my character is.
So Nicole did defense twice.
So, yeah. I can't take the shovel and say now I'm defending with it, right?
It's not shooting weather lasers at you. You're not deflecting it like a lightsaber.
Well, no, because it makes sense. If it's trying to make us lost, using the shovel makes sense because you're making the path.
Yeah, you're
So it's-
guiding
Yeah,
me.
but I can't use it because you're using it. Yeah, so I don't get any gear bonuses. So
Do
it's
you want
just
to attack?
4 plus 0.
I think you might have higher skills than me. Mine are pretty medium, like 2s and 3s. Do you have anything at a
I'm
4?
probably using
No,
labor.
I have a 3, but I could spend my Persona Fate point or whatever that is to apply my nature of 6. To
You have a higher nature than me.
Yeah.
I don't think we have to decide whether or not you have to spend your persona flight until we know what the weather's doing. Like when it's
I
like
mean, yeah.
versus.
But I mean, yeah, that's like an option that
Yeah.
if we were able, we could just like hammer it down with nature 6.
If you guys can pull that off, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. You do yours, and I'll aid you with whatever you do.
Yeah. So probably like Scout and Pathfinder.
All right.
Okay.
Whichever you use, I'll use the other one.
So what's the weather throwing at our defense?
Attack, feint, defense.
Attack faint.
Defense.
And what are you guys doing?
We're
Defending.
defending.
We're doing defending, attacking, defending.
Yep.
D&D.
So,
Okay, you guys got the hammer in the middle.
Yeah.
more than 1.
2.
You could spend your fate point to make that 2 and
I
it'll
mean,
even out.
it might not. It might not matter because that just takes us down to 2.
Okay.
It's still at 4.
Alright.
So
And
you
there's
guys are trying to burrow in and endure the icy gale, but it's starting to chill you. You can see that the beetles are feeling the cold, and you guys go down by 1 point.
Alright, so it's all you guys now.
You guys are attacking versus a feint.
Yep.
It's me, Alan.
So we're just rolling, and that's it, right?
Yeah, I'm aiding with Pathfinder or Scout, whichever
Yeah,
one you're
so-
not using.
I guess maybe I'll just decide, hey, I'm going to the mouse thing. I'm going to just ghost beeline towards where we need to go because we seem to be getting there.
Okay.
So that's Scout 3. He's helping me with Pathfinder. I'm going to say I'm going to use my small trait so I can scout better, just go faster and so on.
You managed to get through the brambles and the branches
Yeah.
where no one else can.
So that's 5 dice already, and I'm going to...
Lighter 2 on the snow in case there's any like weak spots.
Yep.
So I want to also add my mouse nature to that. So I spend my persona, Fate.
Persona to add your nature. Yeah.
So I take that down to
Scurrying to safety is definitely in your nature.
yes.
how much can you use traits?
Once per level.
Positive.
Unless
You can use it against yourself as many times as you want?
Yes.
Okay.
So I haven't used a small as a bonus
Yeah.
yet. So I got a load of dice.
do it, Peter.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Jesus.
And what does nature have? 4?
Nature doesn't get anything.
Nature doesn't get to roll.
Oh,
Phase.
I mean it's health.
Yes.
4.
Can it go into negatives to determine the outcome? Or
Yeah.
does it just
like
hit flat 0?
No, once you reduce it to 0, that's it. It's done. And then the only thing that matters other than that is
The
how
difference
low
between
you guys were.
Take that,
So
nature.
you won, but you got to a 2. So now
You still need that defense roll to shore up.
Okay.
So now we need to do a compromise, which is quite literally a compromise. Like I can throw something out saying like I want this, and you can say no, that's no good. We'll do something different instead.
Okay.
Um,
So we wanted to get us lost and wanted to get to that place safely.
yes. So I think that you guys managed to defeat it and get where you were going, but in your hurry to break through and defeat the harsh conditions and the sudden snowstorm that came upon you, you lost one of the beetles along the way.
How
That's a
about
large amount of stock.
instead we took longer and had to eat some of our rations, but we still got there with the beetles and most of it?
Because yeah, we specifically went slower so that we wouldn't
Yeah.
lose things along the way.
Okay. Then how about you all get the tired condition?
And we get there with everything?
You get the beetles, but you all get there tired.
What does tires do? Explain to us.
-1 disposition for all conflicts.
Oh boy.
That's not bad.
What's that little parenthesis next to it? OB3.
OB3 health, that's what you need to do to recover that. You need to roll an OB3 health check.
Okay.
Also, does that stack? Like, is it -3, 4 to our disposition because we all have it?
I think it's
If you guys were all on a team, yes.
Okay, so it's -2 if we were to do this again.
okay.
Okay, yeah, we'll take that.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
We're going for some R&R, hopefully.
Oh, yeah, we're supposed to be here for a while to make sure that everything's fine.
No, we're supposed to be at the third destination for a while. This is our first stop.
Yeah, she also told us to make sure that we're
Oh,
the
yeah.
face of the not the
We're
company.
going to be the face by taking a goddamn nap. Strongly sleeping.
Okay.
Yeah, so you manage to come through the storm. You reach the end of your journey, and before you is Ivydale, which is a normally quite beautiful settlement to look at, as it's a mass of ivy and plants, and various entrances are nestled in amongst it. But it is currently just blanketed in snow. But out front, you see some mice who are milling around outside with lanterns. By the time you get there, it's quite dark. You've been traveling. It's late.
Winter.
Yeah, winter. Things get dark very quickly. So it's unusual to see people out and about. And as soon as they see you, they hail to you.
I wave.
Okay. 3 or 4 of the mice break off and walk in different directions around there, but 2 come towards you and they say, "Oh, guard mice, it's good to see you. You've come at a fortuitous time."
Yeah,
And
that's
that-
us. Can we get inside? Says the mouse with the cloak.
Yes, and we'll have to get that grain inside as well. But we've been low on stores, and we've been sending out foraging missions, and today's mission hasn't come back yet.
Oh no! Well, thankfully we have stocks here, and maybe after a chance to warm up, we can look into this lost scouting group of yours, scavengers.
Well,
For
sure.
Oh, that
When did they leave?
They left this morning. They were supposed to be back by noon.
Noon?
Well, we don't want to be out too late.
Which
with,
direction?
No, that
they
makes
go?
sense.
Like, which direction? Is it from where we've been coming, or did they go somewhere else?
We don't know which direction they've been headed in. That's why we've sent patrols in both patterns. But I mean, maybe you, a guard mouse, might be more astute at tracking. Maybe you could find them.
Well, yeah, I guess next time just tell people which way you're going. That'll be a
That's not
start.
how foraging works. I like pat you on the head.
I mean,
They go wherever they think there might be, life.
We're
food.
talking too much for this.
Oh,
I need to
yes.
find those people. I'll kind of like gently nudge you to the forefront because you're the face. You're supposed to make us look heroic.
Instead of criticizing them for every little thing.
Yes.
Yes. Perhaps a quick chance to warm up, and then we shall be right out to
Get supplies
search
for the
mouse.
search and stuff.
Yes.
Well, whatever you think is best. The gates are open.
Let's get this stuff in here.
how late do they often return? You said noon?
They don't return later than evening.
Later than evening.
Principle.
Yeah, it's like what, midnight or something now?
It's like late dusk. Not quite midnight.
9 p.m.
Sure.
Okay. Help me conceptualize. So like 9 or 10 hours out of callback.
Yeah.
That's not good.
yeah.
You're good at Weather Watcher, right? That's your thing?
I
Or-
have it at 2.
You're good at weather watching.
He also has it at 2.
But don't you have a check-in?
I do?
So you
So
can use that.
if you or both have Weather Watcher at 2, and you've already got a check in it, it might make sense for you to do the roll, just
So-
because then you're quicker to advancing it. So
Okay.
someone gets it to 3.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
How's the storm right now? Is it...
How's the weather?
Is it
It's
still
it's still blowing.
Okay.
And one of the cool things about Weather Watcher as an ability is that if you succeed on the skill roll, you tell me what the weather is going to be.
Okay. Gwen, do tell us if the moon will be shining anytime soon. If there's moonlight out, then we'll have an easier time tracking them than when the storm is blowing.
as these two are doing this, I'm going to start accelerating getting the stuff unloaded and getting the people. And I'll start picking mice up and bringing them into the gates.
Okay.
I'll start making the trip for them.
There are merchants
faster.
there. You could just tell them, hey, you guys go. We're staying.
Yeah, as soon as the merchants heard gates were open,
Yeah.
get inside, they've been...
Yeah.
I was really worried these guys were bandits. They're like, oh yeah, 2 parties split off to the sides. I'm like, they're flanking us, guys. They're flanking us.
I was not worried.
You were excited.
It's a realistic concern to have.
I didn't know they were really good at murder.
What about that huge demon one?
Okay, so yeah, I'm
Let
going
them
to
go.
roll weather watching. I only have 2 dice. You don't get
help.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm helping since I also have Weather Watching.
Okay.
Oh wait, it can't be the same skill.
Oh,
So I will use Survivalist.
okay.
Okay. OB2.
But then you have to have 2 successes?
Yes.
Okay. I did not.
Okay.
Someone else should always roll because I don't seem to be doing that very well right now.
I think those dice are bad. Then we'll give first
Okay.
the dice.
So you failed a roll, so I'm going to
Oh, I feel
impose a
You give me these
twist.
dice, you give me your dice.
And with the weather watching, it is usually a weather twist. So as you look up, you are able to determine the weather. It is starting to build. It looks like it's going to be freezing rain very soon.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
I would suggest then that we head out immediately.
Yes, we don't want to leave them stranded out there.
Indeed. And if it starts to rain, we will not be making it back.
Bring supplies to make an emergency camp in the snow.
Yes, yes.
I guess. What do mice do for rain? They have some leaves they put over their heads or something?
That sounds exactly like what a mouse would do.
Yeah. So I guess I'll just grab a leaf from someone here so I can have something because I don't have a cloak. And
You pull a frozen leaf and shake the snow off.
yeah, perfect.
Wrap
Let's
in
go.
a pseudo
We're
cloak.
creating like big hunks of wood so we can wrap and oil them for like bigger torches.
Okay. So how do you want to start looking for these mice?
Well,
We should definitely, I guess, scout.
yeah. So scout is the tracking or is it pathfind? No.
Scout would be the tracking skill.
Okay. So yeah, I definitely want to
Yeah,
do
find their
some
trail.
scouting. Yeah. So that's 3. Who's going to help me with scouting?
I can help you with.
You're looking for
The tracks.
mice tracks in the snow. They weren't making any attempt to hide, but it is a couple hours old.
Yeah.
So it's only an OB1 test.
Okay.
I can help you with labor probably, just because I can show you where like people making trails and stuff have left damage in the area, like heavy foot traffic.
I was going to suggest Lormos or something to figure out where there usually is food.
So they don't have
around this
harvester
area.
or something?
I have Harvester.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so
the best. Yeah.
So we know which area roughly will be
Where
good for
around
foraging.
here usually does have stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What's your harvest tab?
2.
Okay, so yeah, 3 dice from us.
Can we all help them?
You can all help as long
Yeah.
as you can all have a
As
reason
long as
to
it's
help.
not in combat, we can all help.
Yeah, combat
Okay.
you're in teams.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, I'll give you a Harvester and point out where food would likely grow.
And you're doing lore mouse?
Yeah, I was
Well,
going
in that case, I'll just give you a survivalist help.
Okay.
Where people would go to forage.
So that's 6.
My reason is much less flimsy if I can use the 2 good things I have for this.
1,
Doesn't matter
2,
what level you
3.
It's not the level, it's having the skills. I don't have a lot of skills.
Okay, 3 success. Yeah, you handily
You and Kevin
managed to
can-
decipher where the
the
paw
skills I
prints
use
of the
quick.
earlier mice are. They head off. They circle around. They go in the field. They go from bush to bush to bush. It takes you, a good hour or so to follow them through all the various areas. But then you notice they move towards an open field and then break out into a run across it and head into the woods on the opposite side.
Oh boy, this doesn't look good.
And there you can see large, thorny brambles.
That's actually pretty promising.
Does it seem like they ran to get away from something, or they ran because they don't want to be in the field very long? Can we tell something like that?
Yeah, do they start off normal and then suddenly pick up on
Yeah,
the way?
it doesn't look like a let's just fast across the field.
Is
It
there
looks
a
like
giant
let's run.
spot there from something bird-shaped that might have swooped in and taken some of them and tracks?
If they
Somebody-
started running and
No.
there are no tracks,
No tracks disappear.
Okay.
Brambles tends to mean shrikes, and you really don't want to be around shrikes.
if they started running in the middle of their walk and there are no tracks, that means there's a track.
You just have to make sure that, they started out in the same number they ended up in, and there's no big splash in the middle of something.
It's not that big of a deal. When you run into a bird, birds are easy. They're hard to hit, but their bones are soft.
Okay.
Were there any other tracks aside from the mice tracks?
No.
No? Yeah. That does seem likely to be birds. Owls.
The trick with birds, like ground animals, with a bird, if you hurt it once, it goes down. Their bones are very soft, and they need all of them to fly.
Just clip those wings.
Hit in the stomach, hit in a leg.
Hit it first.
Excellent. Well, we'll know what to be prepared for.
Sometimes when they... I'm just talking to you as we're walking. Sometimes when you pick them up, if you let them, you can get up to their eyes, and their ears are there too. And ears just go in.
Okay. I suppose we should go around, like, in the shade of the trees rather than across the field. They did that in a hurry. We should be careful and keep to the shade, just in case they're still patrolling.
I mean, what's the weather like now? Is it already raining? Is the visibility
See
low?
dark clouds starting to form overhead.
Well, which means it's darker, so it's harder for other animals to spot us as well if we're going straight through.
Not if they're night birds.
Okay.
Either way,
it is
I say
getting
circling
difficult to
is
see.
better.
We should bring torches. Anything that's going to hunt us is going to hunt us. But if we have torches, the mice will see us.
Okay, so going around wouldn't be...
You can circle around. That would need a pathfinder.
Okay.
And of course, so long as we find them, we can seek shelter for the night. If we don't find them, that means they're out here
We
longer.
can just burrow down.
Okay. So if you want to move through the underbrush without being seen, that's an OB2 pathfinder.
Okay, I've got Pathfinder 3.
I would
I'm
I'm going to use Instructor here to help you with that. So that's
Okay.
an extra die from me.
So do you want to use?
I will help you with Scout.
So you lean on your wisdom and years of experience in the guard to...
To help tutor him and like quiz him a bit as he does this.
Which one of you is rolling?
You've got
So it might
4.
be good for you to roll it just so you can actually get it up.
Yeah, get the check.
Okay, so Pathfinder 3 plus 1 for your tutelage.
You'll get
I'll
one
add
from all of us.
survivalist, unless you were adding survivalist.
I think I did Scout.
Okay.
So this is what I was saying. You guys have a lot more skills. I can lean on Scout and Survivalist and
Yeah.
Pathfinder. If you guys start taking those, I run out of the ability to
That's
aim.
why we should ask you first. What will you help? and
Ask the
then-
dumbest, slowest person first, and then pick from there. Like how certain games do initiative systems.
Okay. That's 6 dice. 1, 2. That's OB2, was it?
No, it was OB3.
Okay, so failed. That's also
Wait,
useful.
if you spend your fate point, that 6 counts as 2.
No, you re-roll the 6.
Oh, that's
Well, I
statistically not as worth it.
I need my fails as well.
It's fair.
So I'm gonna fail this.
So you succeed in what you're trying to do. That you guys form your little band, you move through the underbrush, you crawl amongst the frozen leaves, and you circle forward towards the brambles. And there you can see clearly there are 2 mice who are hiding beneath the brambles. There's scattered foraging food and stuff next to them that they've dropped in a hurry. They're all flat on their stomachs, looking upwards. And as you sort of look around to ascertain what they're gazing towards, you hear as the branch above you drops down with the weight of something landing on it.
Okay.
And you hear the telltale sound of a shrike.
Getting impaled.
Gearhart just kind of breathes in and breathes out. Finally.
Alright, swords and short weapons up front, spears behind.
We're back.
So
Okay.
prepared for a fight. Devon rolled 1 success, no, 2 successes, Remove one from tired.
So plus my health of 5. So we got
6.
6. Versus the Shrike save.
And I guess we will just jump right into the combat. So once again, you guys will be divided up into 2 teams. There goes ABA, then BAB.
Okay.
And after the first round, I will let you make a lore mouse roll to determine something about the pattern of its attacks.
Okay. Put me on the team that goes the most frequently.
Then,
They
yeah,
go-
A, B, A.
You go
Also,
the first, yeah.
both you guys answered for the nature question that you run away in fights,
Yeah.
and both of us answered that we don't run away. I changed it after you
Yeah.
thought about it before. So both of us answered we don't run away. So I'm going to say we're on a team doing the direct assault.
Yeah, my character from behind with the spear.
Wait, if you run away, you got +1 nature, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I answered I totally run away.
And
You
what
did,
is...
bitch.
Yeah, I did, and I actually explained it with reasoning and character stuff. Here, let's
Things
pause
changed.
real quickly. We're back.
And so the Shrike has a disposition of 8, and its goal is to kill a mouse.
8 mouse, okay. So our goal is to get away
Injure it.
Okay, but if that's our goal, if we win, then injure it, but that doesn't mean that it won't kill someone. I thought,
If we injure it, it can't kill someone.
I mean, it could still maul someone, and
Well, they stay in the brambles.
so I thought that maybe our goal would be to get those mouse, safely out of there.
That would be a good goal, but if you nominate a mouse to be the leader for your conflict, they also determine the goal.
Okay, so so you're the leader.
You're moving your hand to Kevin. He's not your god right now.
So yeah, injure it.
Injure it. Hurt it bad. So its natural instinct will be to run away. Not worth it.
Okay?
That's the only way my character knows how to solve these problems. It's very clear about it in character.
We need to divide ourselves into teams. Who wants to be with Team Big Fighter?
I have already locked in its actions, so you guys are free to strategize.
Yeah, I want the small one.
Oh, you want the small one?
So I'll be drawing it out
Yeah.
so you can fight it.
Yeah.
We both have spears, don't we? So we're between them, like holding the spears out to keep it from like diving
You're
at them.
bait.
So yeah, so obviously our team will be the ones doing the attacks mostly. You guys will want to be doing more defense and other things to help us live.
Swiping at its wings when it flies in too close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm excited to try out fighting.
Okay, but the question is, do I have any skills for being the bait?
Survivalist and
delicious
Scout.
skill?
Because Scout will let you, like, run through and, like, attract it.
You are, by nature, its prey.
Okay. But do I have
So-
skills?
You could use your nature.
Nature.
To add a die to key.
Okay.
Because you won't be rolling die, won't you?
Okay.
And I have Hunter at 3, and since we're fighting an animal,
Okay. So yeah, that's the team. Finn and
Gearheart.
Gerhard and Vin and Reynard.
And what are your actions?
I am attacking.
Then
You are...
let's faint.
Okay. Our spears give us +1 die to maneuver.
Oh, actually, yes. Let's maneuver.
Yeah, the trick with fainting is if you guys fainted in attacks, that's straight to our HP.
Yeah, let's maneuver then.
Does maneuvering get defeated like that? Like the same way fainting
No.
does?
Maneuver is versus attack or defend, meaning you roll it against it, and it is independent for feint or another maneuver.
Okay. What does it do? What does maneuvering do?
It depends on the amount of successes that you get. If you get at least 1 success, you take 1 die off your opponent's next action.
That's not bad.
If you get 2 successes, you gain +2 die to your next action.
It's not bad at all.
And if you get 3 successes, you can either remove one of your opponent's gear or weapons, disable a trait for the remainder of the conflict, or you may do both of the previous ones.
Perfect.
Both of the
And-
previous ones would be amazing. That'd be like, 2 or 4 dice.
Animals tend to have pretty rough natural weapons. It gets +1 dice to maneuver because of its wings, +1 dice to feint because of its grasping talons, and every attack gets an additional success from its hooked beak.
Ooh.
So we'll do maneuver then for our.
Yeah.
Oh wait, for our one.
So attack, maneuver, attack. I'm guessing.
And then we'll be showing up health afterwards.
It is maneuvering, attacking, and attacking.
Maneuvering, attacking. Okay.
So for our first one, it is maneuvering, you are attacking. We each roll our dice and count our successes separately. Your
Okay.
successes go straight to its HP, its go straight towards getting...
I think you're gonna need more dice.
I think I only have the 6. Like I have my 6 fight dice.
Plus my health, plus gear, your weapon.
Oh, my weapon. Oh, what do axes
beating
do?
stick.
What do axes do?
Plus 1 success to attack.
+1 success to attack. Fuck yeah. This is it. The final
So you
countdown.
roll 7 dice.
Yeah. I need one more.
So
Here's 3 more.
No, I don't want 3 more. Because I get our dice mixed up. Alright. Oh fuck. 1, 2, 3. It's not ideal.
plus your weapon.
Oh, +1 success. 4.
Okay,
Oh
So
no, is
you-
that its roll? Oh no.
Isn't that bad?
5.
5 successes. It's actually
Maneuver.
not great on a maneuver. It would have been much better on an attack.
That's versus. That means it gets 1 over us, right?
It's maneuver versus an attack is independent.
Like they both
So
have
we,
it.
we
So-
roll our dice and we do stuff completely
I
separate.
think you might lose your weapon.
That's fine. I don't care.
Sir, to death with your fists.
You run forward from under the branch and just bury your axe fully
Hammer.
hammer.
I'm looking to break bones. You know, things that'll cause it to not be able to
Yeah.
breathe.
He's using the
stuff.
axe sacked, but it's a hammer.
You swing and you connect a solid hit right into the side of it, but it shrieks and reaches down with its beak and just rips the hammer right out of your hands and flings it off into the bushes.
That's fine.
It's not fun.
So
It's
you've
a
reduced
specially
its
made weapon for your
disposition by
giant
4,
That's a really good
which is
half.
very good.
It's actually
half,
really good.
straight half.
Yeah, it was half, and we didn't take half, so.
But
Let's not fight nature anymore. Let's just fight animals.
no, it's dice pools.
but weather watching.
And now it's attack versus maneuver again,
Um,
which is independent.
So
Yes.
its maneuver. What did it do actually to us? So remove
It
this
disarmed
weapon,
him.
and that's it.
That's it.
Okay.
Because I can either spend it to disarm you, or I can spend it to gain both of the previous.
Alright, so I've got 3 die for this, plus 1 from health, and plus 1 from weapon. Four.
Okay.
It also.
Independent.
It also got 4.
Oh, no.
So we got health 2, and you got maneuver.
4.
We don't
So
do
you
anything.
guys jab forward with your spears, attempting to coax it into a unfavorable position, which you likely do, but it's completely frenzied from being hit by the hammer and is tearing up the foliage that's separating you guys. What do you choose to spend your successes on?
And what can I do to it? The successes are maneuver. Success, disadvantage.
So you can either disarm it, where you remove one of its weapons for the rest of the fight.
Gonna remove one of its weapons.
Can we know what the weapons are like?
Yep. +1 die to maneuver, +1 die to feint, +1 success to successful attack.
Yeah.
Which actually this just was. So you guys are actually up 1.
Take that away.
Yep. Taking that
Um,
away.
Alternatively,
It's a margin of success, though. How does that?
Also,
alternatively, because we got such a high maneuver, can we give it a dice penalty to its next roll and us a bonus?
Yes.
Which will be on a. Let me just finish my thought and then you can go. Which we could give it a penalty and then I can get a bonus because this might be the last attack we make before we might have to run. We're down to 1 disposition.
so my thing, because you can remove a trait. Oh, trait's not a skill. Okay, that was one. I was thinking, like, oh, can we disable its attack skill? No, that's
No, that would be the obvious choice every single time.
And in answer to your question, margin of success, if they were verses, would be the amount by which we beat you.
Oh, but because
since
it's not a
it's
versus
independent,
thing,
every
it's
success
all of
So
it.
is-
because
What-
we got
okay.
4, that means we can afford 4 from
Yeah.
here.
We could impede it 4 times.
No, your margin of success was 3.
Oh.
So you can disarm, or you can get both of those, or you can disable a trait for the remainder of the conflict.
What traits are he using?
What traits does it have? They don't have traits for the Shrike.
Can we just like disable its flight?
But
Oh, that's right. Those are its traits: hunting, impaling, and flying.
I mean, if we disable flying, now it's down here with us.
but it might murder someone.
Well, a Shrike that can't fly will want to run away because other predators are going to eat it.
But it's its trait, which is 3 words that describe things that it is naturally good at doing. You stop it from being naturally good at doing that thing. You don't cripple its wings. You would just stop it from using the flying trait.
I mean, from an instinctual point of view, if it was that hurt with its flight, it'd be hard for it to get back to its nest and it wouldn't be able to carry prey home. So it might just go home. Then again, it's starving. You never know.
Then again, it might just grab a mouse, dump it in the trap, and just flutter away as it's being just impaled there. Or something.
Maybe the dice are what we need. I don't know. You guys did the maneuver.
Can we... This
What's the last thing it's doing?
attacking.
Attacking.
Versus our
So we're attacking. So this might be the last thing we got.
Can we impede it 3 times to give it -3 to...
No, we can't do that.
No, we get to choose impede, and we get to use
You can
level
impede
1 and 2.
and gain position.
Okay, so
We
I'll
can't stack them. We just get access to them.
do the gain position and impede them.
Okay.
So
So,
we...
it's rolling 1 less die. You guys are
Okay.
rolling 2 more.
And we get 2. An urge.
Plus, he's helping you.
Oh, 9.
Yeah.
I'm just taking your dice. I would like to use my scarred condition to appear like a big frenzy, like not worth it.
Okay.
I'm a big psychopath. This is not worth it. Go find something easier. Or I guess I look like an alpha, like a den mother. Like, oh fuck, I attacked its pack.
You attack its youngling.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going after its youngling.
No 6s. So 1, 2. Oh, good. 3.
So...
What do we got? Persona lets you add your nature. Can I do that?
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that's a thing. So
You're acting against your nature.
Oh, I
so your
totally
nature
am.
Will be temporarily reduced by 1.
that's fair. I don't understand what that means, but that makes sense. So my nature is 5. So we got a bit of a Hail Mary here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I will spend my fate point to reroll those 6s.
You don't... I mean... It's already overkilling it. It's not reducing what it's getting. It just means that we both get reduced to 0 after this roll, right? So
That's correct.
if
And
we-
like the difference between the two doesn't matter.
No.
Not really.
It just
It's
bottoms
just
out at
reduced
0.
to 0.
Okay, then I don't have to do nothing.
Yeah. It got 2 successes.
That makes sense. Yeah, I just run up to it and jump onto it and start attacking its ear holes where its brain is.
So
It's not a good sight.
So it's a tie. What happens during a tie?
That's a good question. Can you pause?
Oh yeah, sure, I can totally do that. All right, we're back.
Okay.
Things went bad.
So both sides' disposition was reduced to 0, which means both sides accomplished their goals. Your goal was to injure the Shrike, which you totally did. You went and you wailed on it with your hammer, smacked into its side, and then when it tossed your hammer away, you gouged out its eye with your bare hands.
Yeah, I like that.
So that Shrike is definitely injured. But it succeeded in killing a mouse. So as it flies off and you guys go amongst the brambles to check for survivors, you quickly ascertain that only one of them is in fact alive and is badly wounded, was impaled on a bramble, was likely going to be eaten by the Shrike, but you guys arrived in time to stop that, but not in time to save the
Ethically
mouse.
speaking, we're clear.
We didn't fuck up.
Non-diegetically, we did that. Diegetically, we're heroes.
Yep.
This is unfortunate.
Probably come from movements and stuff.
Okay.
One of you please help me tend to the wounded. The other, get him off the bramble.
I'm already moving to like pull the body off.
Good, excellent.
And as you're pulling it clear, you hear the patter of large drops of rain starting to fall on the brambles above you.
Large drop of freezing rain.
I don't think we're getting back to town tonight. I believe we should find shelter.
Dig under the brambles.
Yes, excellent idea.
Is there likely to be more breaks in these brambles?
Yes.
A tree with a knot in it, then.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go look for it with my scout or something.
And I'm going to use heal to try and stabilize this mouse.
Okay. Well, you guys can get into a little knot in the bramble that you managed to tug.
Is it big enough for me?
Tug him in. It's big enough for all of you.
There we go.
Yeah.
There it is.
You get in. You get inside.
I'll hear in the bramble. I don't know what we're gonna do with this body. I think I'm gonna try and dig a hole for it, but I don't know if I'm gonna want the birds picking at it.
We probably want to get him back to town.
Well, we want to get him back to town, but for the night we want to bury him.
Oh, yeah.
Pack them in snow.
That's what I'm saying. Like bury him in the ground, but if we bury him in the ground in the brambles, the shrikes might get at him.
Not if there's probably berries around. We can use that smell really like spice berries or something, and we'll hunt that around so it drives off the scent. I don't know if brewer would work for that or
Survival.
Harbor.
Well, I'm gonna end the GM's turn here.
Yeah.
Now that I've accomplished all of the tests that I set up for you guys. It's now the close of the night. You're resting. It's now the player's turn. You guys can accomplish things that you want to do during this section, which it seems like you're spitballing some ideas, or you can try and recover with it. So you all get one check for free. If you spent a trait against yourself, you get an extra check. And then you can spend your checks to either try and remove a condition or to perform one test to accomplish some goal.
Oh, so checks are like global currency, they're not tied to specific traits, right? So when
That's
you get
correct.
a check, you get a check, okay.
They're time slots in Persona.
I don't play Persona.
They're time slots in Reciteer.
Sure.
I'm going to use this chance to make a healing roll then.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're tired to get rid of time. It's OB3.
Yes.
So is all or nothing? Either we heal our tired or not?
Each of you has to heal tired.
Yeah, but say if I roll 2 successes,
Then you don't.
you don't.
It's pass fail, baby. Just like the election.
And it's easier to do at a settlement because
You
you
can use
can
tools
get
and-
you can get tools and gear and help from NPCs.
Okay.
Like beds and warm water.
Yes. Very helpful.
So did I take like injuries during that fight? Like did it like bite at me and scratch me and shit?
Yes, but
Awesome.
not enough to get the injury.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
still awesome.
Pretty much you get those as conditions
Yeah.
if you have to compromise.
Just speaking narratively, like in the fiction. The bird was biting
In the
you and
fiction, you're all
scratching
scratched up. You were right in its face.
me. Yeah, it was happening. They have little spear beaks. They're crucifiers. They're big fans of the
So why does
JC.
this work again?
How do what?
Why does this work?
Wises, you use them when you're rolling other skills, and they give you a bonus if they're applicable.
Because I have Predator Wise. I should have been using that for the fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think resting up might be a bit useless because we couldn't get enough equipment bonus necessarily.
And I got a check for passing the fight, right? I got a pass
Like a skill check.
for fighter, yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
I guess I didn't use any skills, so I don't get anything.
Yeah, you were just aiding in that battle.
Yeah.
So
Same.
Okay. So you get
Yep.
yours whatever. Okay.
yeah, 1 in 100.
But you can use your checks to practice skills, which basically like you make an OB1 orator, even though you're not really talking to anyone.
Oh, I'll use my check to do laborer to bury this fucking guy. Bury him deep so they can't dig him up.
Okay.
In the snow that'll be covered by ice and get shelled over. Then we just mark it and crack it open more.
Okay.
So that would make my pass go up to 2 for laborer, which means it would become 3.
Yeah, I mean you have to roll it, but it's an OB1 test to do that.
Oh
I mean, if you fail, that's good because you still need to get failures.
no. Oh, I have to roll to do the practice.
Yes.
You have to
Okay.
spend your check to do it.
Okay, so roll not to screw up burying this guy. 2 successes.
There you go.
So now I'm at check 2, which automatically becomes laborer 3.
Have you failed at it yet?
No.
Because
So you need to fail at it.
You have enough fails to level -1. You know,
But I have 2 passes.
Yeah,
You
so
need
you
to
need
have
to
both.
pass it equal to what you have and fail it equal to what you have -1. You need both.
Okay. Punch myself in the face for beats.
yes.
I got
I mean,
you.
this is where you fish for, right?
No, I got you. I get the pace.
But I can't do some practice roll now, use some of my traits against me to lower the die and get another...
Not in the player's turn.
Not in the place.
Can skills go above 6?
Yes.
I don't think so.
I don't have to worry about fighter. I don't have to worry about ever failing at fighter.
Yeah, you just maxed it out.
I did. I peaked.
Alright, I'm going to use healer then, and
Okay.
I'm going to tend to this mouse's wounds to stabilize him.
Okay.
Not doing any like major surgery or anything. I'm just making sure that he'll
Splints
make
and
it.
shit.
Yeah.
If you're just trying to get him through the night, that's an OB1 test.
Okay, so healer, I have a specialty in I'm medicine wise, so it's another die.
Possible for me to find my hammer.
I
You'd
could...
have to spend a check.
I mean, I could do
I
that
only
for
had
you.
1 check.
Yeah.
Because I don't have much to do, so I could scout for your hammer.
Sure, that'd be great. We should roleplay once we're done figuring out what we're doing.
Yeah. So I got 2 successes. So
Okay. He's barely conscious, but you managed to get him so that he won't die during the night.
that's fine. He probably doesn't want to be conscious when he's got a big hole in him.
You could try to feed him those baked goods you made to, like, strengthen his heart.
Muffins. Yeah. I'll just do that.
You force feed him muffins.
Yeah, it's food.
It can help. It can make someone feel better.
Especially given that he probably has been subsisting off like nuts
Starvation
and berries. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
god, he's gonna have a diabetic.
The diabetes.
So yeah, that's
That's
Yeah.
yours.
Okay, you managed to get him back to some kind of quality of life.
Do you want to do anything, Nicole? What's your take? What's the skill you want to practice so you can get close to your pass fails?
I mean, I guess lore mouse, but did you say we have to spend checks or something?
You
You
spend a check to make a test.
Like, if you hindered yourself during GM's turn, you get more action. Like, I get an extra action because I hindered myself doing one roll.
Or do I get a free one?
You get a one.
You get
you
one
get
check.
for free.
You have 1 check right
Because I'm like, I don't have. But
So if you wanted to do lore mouse, you could do it by ruminating on the encounter that you just had and trying to translate that into some kind of understanding of the animal in a Shrek nature.
Like, oh,
And
how?
depending on whether you wanted a pass or a fail, you could determine how difficult you wanted that test to be.
For example, how to fight strikes? Because hey, we managed to fight it off.
We would have killed it if we had a little more time.
Yes.
stabbed it to death.
I did learn that
Well, we'll see whether you
see
learn.
their eyes through their ear holes.
What?
Oh, yeah,
No, the ear holes where their brain is. That's why I kept putting my hands in there.
Since
See their
you
eyes
use
through
your
their ear holes.
wise,
yeah.
I think you have to check that off in the
I got
wise. Because in order to fulfill the wise, you have to do what? Pass, fail, teach, and something, right?
What?
Okay,
What?
with wises,
Yeah.
you can apply to rolls. And there are 4 slots right next to wises, which is pass, fail, fate, and purse, or whatever. As far as I remember reading that, like you have to check off what you use the wise for. If you complete all 4 different kinds for your wise, you get some bonus for that. So you've completed a skill aided by your wise.
Do you mind if I pause? And we're back. We just had to take a quick break just to check some bookkeeping.
Okay, so Nicole tested her lore wise, lore mouse,
Yeah.
and succeeded.
Yes. I also used my predator wise thing. Why? My wise.
So we all succeeded with our little checks.
Yeah, now I'm still doing mine. So I'm trying to scout for the axe. That's good. Hammer, sorry.
No problem.
So that's a success. So I managed to find your hammer and drag it.
Well, you managed to locate where it is.
Ah, okay.
You climb up in some branches and you see a spot where the hammer is sunk into the snow. The Shrek has tossed it, but it is raining and getting very late.
So laborer to bring it back. Drag it.
You still have a check, so sure.
Yeah, because
Man, you're full of checks.
I'll use labor and can I use an equipment of hook and line to drag it along like that?
Sure. That's a good use of your hook and line.
Okay.
It probably has loops and stuff on it too, like to hang and stuff.
3 successes. So yes, I think I succeed at dragging it back.
Okay. So he manages to go out and retrieve your hammer.
Perfect.
And
Yep.
you guys are all holed up for the night.
Yep.
So we'll end the session there. And the last thing that we do is rewards. So we go around and you guys get fate and persona points, depending on how you did. And I don't give these out. These are determined by you guys, although I have input on it.
So we're saying, hey, I should get this amount because
Well,
this?
the first thing we look at is acting on your belief. So everyone go and check your beliefs and your instincts. Go around and say what your belief is. So your belief is,
A life without adventure is a life not lived.
and do you feel like you acted on that?
No.
Yeah, you went out into the snow. You led the scouting expedition.
You fought the Shrike.
You led the part that got us to the Shrike, and then were involved in the fight with it. There was a bunch of adventuring going on there, and you learned stuff about Shrikes.
Okay.
Yes, you have.
So you earn a fate point for that. And yours is,
I cannot think of a problem that cannot be solved with force.
and you feel...
Yes.
Should a fate point?
Yeah, so that's a fate point.
I got 2 now.
I got to work smarter, not harder, which I guess with the scouting, doing like some small scouts to get us to the, would rather just like persevering, or also using some tools to get the axe out.
You use tools a lot, so yeah, definitely. And using your size to like get through like spaces and stuff.
My belief is my moral compass trumps my duty as a Mouseguard, which wasn't tested this time, so...
Okay. So if you're going around and
Well,
you're...
if we want to look at it this way, we're supposed to get this grain going as quickly as possible, and we totally abandoned that to go save these mice guys.
And that's the
So you were told directly by Mouse Queen to take care of the grain, and that was your duty as a mouse guard. But your duty as a person was we all got together and went and saved those people as quickly as we could.
Yeah.
The queen
I was gonna
lady
say,
said
when
to
you-
go and do the thing to deliver the grain, and also to prove to everyone that we're great people.
Well, it wasn't to prove we were great people, to like boost confidence in people. We didn't do any of that. We immediately left the town, didn't interact with people at all, to go save some people that are probably dead 10 hours in the snow.
When you hit something with your belief or your instinct, where it's like it didn't gel for the session, or you feel like you didn't meet it, the first thing to check is if that's a problem with your actions, or maybe with your phrasing. So, like, what are you trying to get behind with your belief?
If my duty requires me to do one thing and I don't agree with it because people will be hurt or it disagrees with my morals as a good mouse.
So, essentially, your belief is that
Second,
as a mouse or as a guard mouse, you should follow your moral compass above all else.
Yes.
So, if you phrase it like that, do you feel like you acted upon that? In each situation that you encountered, you did what you felt was morally correct.
Yeah, I guess. That also works.
So
Yeah,
then
I
I would
don't-
take a fate point for that.
Yeah, because
And I
don't
would
think.
maybe rephrase it so that it is something that is more actionable.
Yeah, because I don't think that the guard. Your
The
duty
guards are
is
good guys.
yeah, your duty's not going to conflict with the moral compass if you're a good person, because they're good people. Their whole
Yeah.
purpose is protecting people.
Queen Mouse is going to show you a room full of like leper mouse children and say you have to set them on fire.
Yeah, there's also that thing where it's like, okay, you have to do this or,
Yeah, but the mouse guard will always be like, you gotta do the right thing.
Yeah, like
You tend to get vague objectives, like send grain, help people, deliver mail, and
Okay.
you're expected to use your judgment along the way.
okay, my moral compass comes first. And
Yeah.
Or the mouse guard are predicated on the moral compass. Like, if you tie it in like that, then it,
always have morally.
Okay. Next, did anyone work towards a goal but not achieve it?
I don't think that I forged a safe path, considering
I mean-
we almost died.
But you took the lead in the pathfinding,
I mean,
and you guys succeeded in that conflict.
yeah, we didn't lose
we
anything.
got there. We got everything there. We were just tired.
Yeah, we were. Like,
You
we worked
succeeded.
ourselves overtired, making sure your goal was met.
I mean, So you succeeded.
So if you succeeded in your goal, you get a persona point.
Yeah, I totally succeeded in my goal.
Which was?
Do the bulk of the work.
Yeah. Mine was to prove myself useful, and yeah, I
Yeah.
can find that path on the last
Acting as
round.
bait, getting my hammer.
Yeah.
My goal was to make sure all 3 caravans made it safely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's a persona point for accomplishing that goal.
Yep.
Playing an instinct. What was your instinct?
Oh, sorry.
My instinct is when confronted with the unknown, always investigate.
And you feel like you did that?
I don't think we were confronted with the unknown.
We totally were confronted with the unknown. Those people went missing, and it was a total crapshoot if we ever find them. And then we went out into the wild wilderness and tracked them down by their trails, and then ran into a monster we'd never seen before.
Yeah.
And your instinct?
Instinct. Always follow orders, which I think is a bit tricky for me because I'm technically always following orders. I never once didn't follow an order.
Because that's your instinct. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was to run to live another day, which I guess if I was playing the bait, that would be going against it.
You were going against your instinct, I think.
Yeah. So
Just tied him to a stick and like waving at the shrike.
Okay. So
Also, I used him as bait. We're just going to gloss over that.
So,
Just gloss.
and what about you?
Never leave anyone behind.
yeah.
Which I think I kind of accomplished by actually going out here.
Yeah, we didn't leave him behind.
So if you didn't play your instinct, you should think about your instinct the same way thought about his belief and see if it maybe needs to be reworded or changed, or if maybe it just didn't come up. Because sometimes it won't.
I mean,
Sometimes
like
it won't be relevant.
the greater need here. I need to do this stuff. So
Like, we actively went against the sane thing to do by trying to kill that bird.
Yeah. Okay, so they get their persona, fate. What? Did they get anything for the instincts?
For playing an instinct, you get a fate.
Okay.
Sweet.
So 1 persona, 2 fate.
3 fate points.
And then you can also get a persona point for dramatically playing against a belief, which I don't believe anyone did. That's a pretty rare event. So the last 3 things are that there are 3 awards that you as players vote on.
Yeah.
One is the MVP, which is most valuable player.
Yeah.
Whoever did the most, pulled off the most, really hit the clutch moment.
Yeah.
Then there's also the workhorse, which, in contrast to the MVP, is maybe not the one
Maybe
who
this-
did the shining, stellar, dramatic thing, but was consistently there, consistently doing.
Okay.
And then the last one is embodiment, which is the person who best roleplayed their character.
So I'm guessing like Devil maybe
The roleplay
MVP for. I'd propose myself for being the second one and accomplishing the stuff because in the first conflict.
You were kind of a assistant monkey.
Yeah.
You were definitely workhorsing it. And I think Nicole did most like.
What was the second one?
Yeah, MVP.
No, MVP is the first one. Then
Workhorse. Is the
Workhorse.
second one.
Workhorse.
You were
Roleplay.
basically the object we were using to like knock out successes.
Okay. And roleplay.
Yeah, Nicole was leading the charge in that first encounter a lot.
Okay.
Like we wouldn't have beat the weather if she wasn't there, like knocking out those attacks.
And workhorse and MVP can each only go to one player, and not the same player.
Yeah.
Embodiment can go to multiple players, just not everyone.
Okay. So I think Workhorse, MVP, and you guys were
Yeah,
pretty
Kevin
good at
definitely gets
role playing. Yeah, the both of you.
Okay, like, there's just more opportunity.
Yeah.
Because he was the leader, and my character is
The
one of my characters.
Yeah.
And everyone gets a persona point for that.
Those are difficult ones. It's like having to vote among ourselves about who did best.
It's one of my favorite
Like,
mechanics.
Awkward as hell.
It's fun until someone gets shortchanged. Like, oh, like there's 3 of us, there's 4 of us, and we get 3 points to spare. Okay, so that's basically who doesn't get anything. That's like a little bit of a problem here.
So you 2 got 1, and Kevin and I got 2.
No, everybody gets 1. Because
As long as you get it, you get a persona point. They don't double up, right?
okay, most valuable player, workhorse, roleplay.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was
different.
I was thinking of something completely different.
Yeah.
What?
So everybody gets a persona point.
Ah, I have 2 now.
Congrats.
Those are the ones that let you add nature, and those are so
are the good
valuable.
ones. Yeah.
Fate's like reroll 6s. Oh man, look at all these 6s I've rolled all night.
I mean, for you, it's great because if you're punching something, you got many, many dice.
I just can't wait for those 6s to start showing up like they did all night. I think I counted.
I mean, he
The
got
cool
so
goblin.
He was 6s.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Drop his dice.
I roll a lot more dice though.
Okay. Alright. So,
Yeah, that was
That's-
our first session.
That was good. That was really fun. Mouseguard is neat. The experience system is kind of wacky. Like how you test yourself and you naturally grow.
Yeah.
It's actually
himself
nice.
in the face.
So I guess we'll wrap there because we're starting to, we're winding down now. So I was Devin,
Peter?
Kevin?
Tyler?
And Nicole.
and this is sponsored by Nobody. Signing off.